What's up guys, it's your boy DS, and today we're going to be talking about, is grinding max level worth it? Now if you guys don't know, the max level in this game is 150, and let me tell you, the genuine chi that you need to get to this level is a very big number. So with that being the case, I want to talk to you guys about some of the things that I went through and that I discovered, and let you guys know whether it's worth it to grind for this or not. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is the level I beat the game at. Now, originally I thought I beat it at like 120. I actually beat the game at level 112, much earlier than the max level cap. Now, the thing about that is, I didn't have any problems with bosses to any degree. I'm not saying that I didn't die, but even if I died, I would die like once or twice, or maybe three times. Three times probably the maximum, but that's only because it was a brand new boss and I didn't know what they did. As soon as I saw or found out what they did, I beat the boss with little to no effort. If I'm remembering correctly, the later stages of the game, the recommended level was only around, I want to say 90, so I was about 20 to 30 levels above what they recommended me to be in the latest stages of the game. Now keep in mind, levels do matter a lot. This is going to be how you guys get most of your stats. Obviously you'll get stats from the other stuff, but I'll talk about that in a little bit. But as far as your levels go, this is where you're going to be getting a lot of your stats, and then this is going to be how you guys are making and building your characters. And if you have a decent build going on, you can actually utilize that build in a way that allows you to progress through the game, even if you're not that leveled. Or if you are leveled, then you can kind of just steamroll the game like I did. Keep in mind, I was going for a wood build, so I basically had the maximum amount of stats into my spirit, defense, and health as possible. But now that we talked a little bit about the levels, I do want to talk about some of the other things that allow you to get stronger. Leveling up gear in this game does give you some minor boosts to your damage and your stats. It's not going to be the biggest boost in the world until you start getting into the passives, but once you start getting into the passives and you start getting a build that you can form your character around, gear becomes a really big part of whether your character is stronger or not. Keep in mind, you aren't going to be able to max out your gear as far as the levels go until the later stages of the game when you're getting the level 9 resources. But before that, you still can get all of the passives and everything on your gear to make your gear fit your build so that your character is decently strong before you get to those later stages anyway. Gear is definitely a big factor into making this game easier, and if you guys don't have your gear leveled up, you will start to notice it the later you get into the game, and if you start New Game Plus and different things like that. Now the next thing is the morale system. We all know the morale system can make the game a cakewalk. A big part of me beating all those bosses and not having any issues with the bosses, and I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm the best gamer of all time. Every time I went to any boss, my morale level was 20 or above, and most of the time it was like 23, 24, 25. So that was definitely a big part of me not struggling on any bosses at all. Granted, that's how the game works. And a lot of times I didn't even grind morale. I just played through the stage, and by the time I got to the boss, I was already morale level 20 plus. So morale definitely was a big factor in it being as easy as it possibly could have. Now that we're done talking about some of these things that will make the game easier for you, I want to get into New Game Plus. And the reason why is because, like I said, the recommended level for the later stages of the game are like level 90, but you get in the New Game Plus, and the first stage is like 110, 120. So as you ramp up and as you go through New Game Plus, the levels for, the recommended levels for you guys to play or play the stage at are going to be higher. And I wouldn't be surprised that if at the end of the game, the recommended level is going to be 150 or 140. So I don't think it matters as much here, but it's definitely going to matter if you're playing New Game Plus. Now, talking about the amount of time it took for me to grind out these levels. I took yesterday, I was level 123, so I needed 27 levels to max out my character. On that alone, it took me over 4 hours. Now, I'm not entirely sure if it was 4, 5, or 6, because there were times where I did take a minor break, like 5, 10, 20 minutes. And there were times where I was like speed running it, grinding it. And there were some times where I lackadaisically, grinded it as well. So I'm going to say between like 4 and 6 hours to grind 27 levels. And I did have the genuine chi gear on me that allowed me to, instead of getting the 7,000 that the alligator dropped, I was getting 12,000. and I was grinding this on the part 4 stage Hanshui River. I don't know if there was a better way to grind this, but that's what I was grinding, and it took me about 4 to 6 hours to grind 27 levels. Granted, as you level up, the next level costs more. So to go from like level 100 to 120 isn't going to be near as long as going from level 120 to 140, right? Those 20 levels are completely different. But what I will say is, it is going to take you a long time to grind out these levels. Now, hopefully, you guys are already like level 120, 130 or something like that if you are planning to do this, because it's going to be a lot easier. But if you're like level 80 or level 90, you are in for something special. It took me quite a while to do this. Now, the only reason why I wanted to do this, I plan on playing New Game Plus, and I'm not going to be using medium or heavy gear. I'm only going to be using light load gear. So that's why I did this. Now, as far as anyone out there that wants to know if they should do this, I'm going to tell you up front, if you're not planning to play New Game Plus, you just don't have to do it. If you are not planning on playing New Game Plus, I don't think you need to do this at all to any degree. Now, if you are planning to play New Game Plus, the first boss is pretty easy. I didn't even have to be max level for that. But I'm going to tell you right now, as it goes on, it will get harder and harder, and those stat points are going to matter more and more. So if you guys plan on grinding New Game Plus, maybe grinding out max level is not such a bad idea. But if you are not, if you're just playing the base game, you're just having fun, you absolutely don't have to do it. But anyway, that is going to be it for this video. Be sure to give a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Comment down below. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section. With that being said, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.